So after 18,539 miles, I want to talk to you about why I love the Africa Twin. I got 7 reasons. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for watching another exciting Tall Man video. If you've never been here before, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, blah, 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 blah. Let's get into why the Africa Twin is just so great. Full disclaimer, if you came for an organized, well thought out review, I've got notes, but I've also got ADHD. If you know, you know, you know. One. First thing you notice when you look at the Honda Africa Twin is that it is tall. This thing has a 34.3-inch seam height with the seat in the tall position. This is a great bike for tall guys. I am 6'5" with a 35-inch inseam. I fit so well on this bike. This is one of the few bikes I've ever sat on where my knees are below the tank. I got long shins and they need space to rest. Really, the number one here is riding position. With that comes that tall seat height. It's great for big, long trips. This is a super comfortable touring bike. I've done 2 different trips, one at 900 miles, the next one at 1,600 miles. My third big planned trip is going to be 8,000 miles, going from all the way from Seattle to San Diego, up the coast, and into Alaska and back. And I have no hesitations doing it on this bike. It's so comfortable. So first and foremost for me is, you know, that riding position, is the tall seat height and just that super comfortable position to be able to go for hours and hours on end. Number two is power. This is a 996cc bike, a liter bike. It gets where I need it to go, and it does it well, and it does it quickly. If I need to merge, if I just want to wrap on that throttle and just kind of go, this is a bike that constantly puts a smile on my face when it comes to power. It's got power, and it does power well. Oh, but tall man, wouldn't you say the power means bad fuel mileage? Number 3, this thing does 45 miles to the gallon. 19 kilometers per liter for my international viewers. I'd like Google do the math for me, I'm going to be honest with you. It's solid for me. I also commute a lot on it. When we're talking about a big all-around bike, it's a pretty respectable number. It would do better if I wasn't so aggressive on the throttle sometimes. I'm so responsible. Hit the floor for number 4. I don't know. Number 4, traction control. The traction control system on this is pretty darn good. I don't know big technical specifics of how inner workings link to electrical systems. What I can tell you about the traction control system and why it's on my list, when I have needed it, it's been there. I've had a few times. You go to take a left or a right during the rainy off season and the pavement's wet, and you give it just a little too much juice. I've felt the power cut out, I've seen the light cut on, and I have not eaten it hard into the pavement. So traction control system works, and from what I can tell, it works pretty well. So thanks, Honda, for making that the way you make it. Number 5. Speaking of turning left and right, and maybe the tires slipping out from under you, let's talk about number 5, which is that this bike is pretty darn nimble, especially given that it's a 530 plus pound bike. You don't realize this is a big, heavy adventure bike. This thing feels nice and nimble and cuts back and forth in the corners really well. It doesn't feel like you have to lob it from side to side. Off-road, it's pretty agile. You don't feel like you're wrestling to keep 530 pounds upright. It just kind of feels like a big dirt bike. One of my biggest fears on this bike for a while was taking it off-road. I was sure this thing was going to be a lot more difficult than it really is off-road. I really attribute that to the same reason it's good in the corners. The center of gravity is low. It's very nimble. It's a very comfortable bike to do those things on. It feels good in all situations. 6. And, you know, not only does it feel good, this bike looks good. Guys, this is Batman's bike, okay? It's blacked out, it's big, it's tall, it looks cool. I will tell you what, man, I saw this thing in the showroom and I said, oh, damn. And what I really like about it looking good is that it looks good to other people, and people want to come talk to me about it. Everybody who sees it is like, is that an Africa Twin? How do you like it? I love talking to people. I'm an extrovert to the core. It's a conversation starting bike, and I like the way it looks, so it's number 6 on my list. So that's, you know, it's my list. And finally, number 7. I would be remiss if number 7 and my final point weren't that it's a Honda, man. I could neglect this thing maintenance-wise and it would run forever. And if I didn't neglect it and did the maintenance, which I do, there's not a lot of maintenance to it. I have to change the oil every 8,000 miles. Like, all Hondas are this way. They're very low maintenance. That's great. That's great for somebody like me. You know, I'm a teacher. I'm trying to be out doing stuff. And I already have ADHD. I forget to do things all the time. The less maintenance I have to remember, the better. And so that is actually a big plus for me. I love this bike. I really do. If you were brought here because you're thinking about getting an Africa Twin, do it. Pull the trigger. You will not regret it. DCT, manual, I don't think it really matters. If you're thinking about getting one, do it. Pull the trigger, go get it. You won't regret it. You want to off-road, if you want to go on long adventures, if you're just looking for a solid commuter bike, if you're only looking for a commuter, maybe don't, because you can get something with better gas mileage. Still, you know, do it, screw it, why not? Live your life, get an Africa Twin. If you do have an Africa Twin, go ahead and let me know what your favorite thing is about your Africa Twin. Drop that in the old comment section. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. I really am trying to grow this channel and make something neat out of it. The Africa Twin is super dope. That's the summary, and we will see you all in the next video. Cue the outro, me. This is my outro song. Time to remember to like and subscribe. Ding that dong and follow along on my motorcycle adventures. Do, 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 do.